What if the fate of this Lakers season isn't sealed in the playoffs or measured in win-loss columns, but hidden deep within the shadows of the front office where loyalty clashes with desperation, and every move could be the fulcrum that either catapults us into glory or sends us spiraling into a nightmare we fought so hard to escape? What if the true battleground is not on the hardwood, but beneath the polished speeches and carefully crafted press releases, where untold battles rage over contracts, trades, and the very soul of a franchise that has historically balanced on the edge of greatness and collapse? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truth meets purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a second of this drama. Tonight, we dive into a tempest swirling around the Lakers, one that could redefine everything we thought we knew about this team, about its leaders, and about the crushing weight of expectations that come with carrying the hopes of a city that refuses to forget past glories or forgive past blunders. You know the story: high stakes, pressure mounting like a storm cloud over Staples Center, and a roster that's more fragile than it looks. But beneath the surface, whispers are growing louder. We're talking about whispers from the very people who build this team. Not just the players and coaches, but those pulling strings in the shadows. The ones whose decisions echo through locker rooms and living rooms alike. From the twilight of the last championship dynasty to the present moment, the Lakers have faced what feels like an unending crossroads. The echo of the past rings heavy, reminding us of the days when LeBron James steered us through playoff battles with almost supernatural poise. But that era, glorious as it was, now feels like a relic eclipsed by a more precarious reality. The morning headlines are rife with cryptic hints about front office tension, rumblings that the vision for this Lakers team isn't universally shared among those running the show. Are the architects of tomorrow's Lakers still aligned in their belief in this blend of experience and youth, or is the foundation cracking beneath the pressure? The sense is growing that the workroom is divided, with some advocating bold trades to shake things up and others urging a patient approach, to let team chemistry bloom in its own time. But patience feels like a luxury in LA, when the clock is ticking and doubters circle closer, waiting for signs that this season might crumble under the weight of unmet expectations. Hesitation can be a death sentence. We also can't ignore the elephant in the room, the financial tightrope the franchise is walking. The layers of cap space constraints and luxury tax burdens have the front office knob turners sweating over every dollar. Every move to balance star power, role players, and potential stretch deals must be delicately calculated, because the price of a misstep is not just cap space, but the very future of the team's competitiveness. This is no longer just about basketball. It's about preserving the chance to even compete at the highest level in upcoming seasons. And that tension seeps into the locker room, into the city, and deep inside the hearts of fans who have stood by this purple and gold army through decades of triumph and torment. If you think it's just a numbers game, think again. Behind those figures are lives and legacies. LeBron, who still carries the torch as if it were forged in the fires of past Lakers legends, pushing through wear and tear to lead this crew. Anthony Davis, a warrior with a grimace that tells tales of battles lost and won, facing not just opponents, but his own body's limits. Then there's Reeves, the young spark who represents hope and gritty determination, a figure who somehow both soothes and exacerbates the collective anxiety as we watch this team thread a needle between heroism and heartbreak. What truly sets this story apart are the seismic shifts suggested in the trade markets, rumors that circle like vultures, but might release a roar capable of shaking this franchise to its core. We've seen the Lakers dip their toes before, making moves that sometimes brought fleeting relief but no lasting satisfaction. Yet now, the stakes have risen so high it feels like each trade headline could be the prelude to a dynasty or the death knell of an era. Imagine a domino falling in this complex chess game. Does the front office cash in on promising stars in favor of short-term grit? Or do they gamble on untapped potential, holding steady despite growing impatience from a fan base? that demands not just hope, but results? And what if those moves unsettle the delicate chemistry that has defined the locker room's recent identity? The success of a trade is never just about stats on paper. It's about personalities, egos, and the heartbeat rhythm of a team that is perpetually chasing history while haunted by its ghosts. Statistics, for all their cold precision, reveal fractures and possibilities in equal measure. This season, the Lakers find themselves hovering at a precarious spot too far above the bottom to draft the stars of tomorrow, but far from a clear path to the promised land. Their winning percentage hides a deeper truth, a team oscillating between flashes of brilliance and stretches of confusion that could cost them dearly. These are not just numbers, they are pulses measuring hope and fear. And as every fan knows, the difference between a celebrated hero and a fallen icon can be a single possession or a trade deadline decision. The pressure mounts as we consider that the last few seasons have been a roller coaster of nearlies and almosts. The fan base's patience thins, eyes are weary, yet the desire to believe remains stubbornly alive, fueled by memories of a purple and gold legacy chasing the sun. In the coaching seat, the drama unfolds just as fiercely. Strategies and rotations feel like a game of survival. Every pick, every minute allocation carries weight, a gamble between trusting veterans who have given decades to this sport and betting on young players ripe with potential but untested fire. The challenge is Herculean and the margin for error razor thin. And let's not overlook the emotional toll. Coaches are the architects, but also the firewalls, carrying the blame when things spiral and the credit when magic momentarily returns. The pressure to evolve tactics in real time amid a sea of internal and external expectations is something only those who live and breathe this madness can truly feel. We see flashes where the team looks like a contender. Then a single injury or misstep sends ripples of doubt through the stands and living rooms from Hollywood to every Lakers stronghold. So, where do we stand as a franchise and as a fan base staring into the abyss of uncertainty? The echoes of past Lakers dynasties ring loudest when times feel darkest, and it's hard not to ask the haunting question: are we witnessing the birth of a new empire forged in sacrifice and savvy, or are we at the precipice of unraveling, hurling headlong into a void where no number of LeBron highlights can save us? As a lifelong Lakers fan, I can't help but feel this season carries the weight of every heartbreak and every triumph we've ever endured. It's a crucible where patience clashes with urgency, where hope dances with fear, and where every decision could redefine the future of purple and gold basketball for years to come. So is this the start of a new empire? Or the beginning of our unraveling? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be reading every one. Listen up, Lakers family. This is the moment where every heartbeat in purple and gold needs to pound louder than the noise of doubt that's swallowing this franchise whole right now. We're not just watching the basketball season unfold. We're witnessing a saga that could redefine everything about what it means to bleed Lakers colors in an era that's as merciless as it is unpredictable. So buckle up, because the story beneath the bright lights and roaring crowds is a raw, unfiltered tale of legacy on the razor's edge, where heroes rise and empires tremble. LeBron James. Let's talk about the man carrying an impossible torch across aging shoulders that once could dominate an era almost single-handedly. This isn't the LeBron who came into the league a fresh-faced phenom, or the unstoppable force that captured championships like trophies on a shelf. No, this is a warrior battling the unrelenting shadow of time and the crushing burden of expectation. His silhouette casts long against the echoes of Lakers legends like Magic, Kobe, and Shaq. Every night, every minute he plays feels like a gamble. Between defying age and dodging a legacy fractured by what-ifs and could-have-beens. And what about Anthony Davis? This guy, the second act to LeBron's lead role. A mountain of talent, bearing not just the weight of his own body's betrayals, but the franchise's fragile hopes. His gritted jaw hides a storm of pain and purpose, But every limp or grimace reminds us that the clock is ticking louder for him too. Watching a D play is like watching a gladiator fight battles, both on and off the court. His health will not just shape the success of this season. It will mold the very blueprint of the Lakers' future. Now, add to that mix young Austin Reeves hour. Scrappy underdog, the kid with fire in his eyes who somehow becomes both a balm and a lightning rod for this team's soul. He's the quiet symbol of hope, embodying the street-level grit that has defined every Lakers run. But what if the weight of these swirling front office tensions, these looming trade talks, and the financial straitjacket strangle that spark, before it fully ignites? What if Reeves, our future, becomes collateral damage in a desperate bid to patch together a short-term fix? And let's not gloss over Bronny James, LeBron's son, whose ascending star casts both light and shadow over the franchise's horizon. The hope he represents isn't just lineage, it's a new dawn, a connection between eras. What if the Lakers fail to find a path that both honors this evolving legacy and builds a team capable of supporting this next chapter? Now, beneath all, this drama is the low hum of a front office at war with itself. Jeannie Buss still seated at the helm, the royal matriarch holding the reins of a kingdom in turmoil. But what if a billionaire outsider storms the gates? Imagine a figure with deep pockets and a hunger to rewrite Lakers history lurking on the edges, ready to upset the delicate balance that Jeannie and Rob Pelinka have tried to maintain. That power shift could explode in the chaos or catapult the team into an unprecedented stratosphere of power. The summit, the plan, the vision. What if the very foundation of Lakers' identity, long intertwined with the Buss family's stewardship, fractures under the pressure of new money, new ideas, and the insatiable desire to break the Warriors? Chokehold on the West? And speaking of the West, the ripple effects are seismic. Warriors, that juggernaut of dynasty and swagger-could Lakers turbulence, finally crack the code to dethrone Golden State? Or will the instability hand the reins to Denver's relentless juggernaut or Phoenix's blazing suns? What if the Clippers, constantly lurking, strike while the Lakers' empire shakes, stealing not just wins but pride? Picture this, a Staples. Center crowd holding its breath, pistons firing, fans screaming for hope, while the front office spins wheels that either steer us into victory lanes or dead ends paved with shattered dreams. This is no Hollywood script. We're staring into a Lakers saga poised to redefine the very essence of glory and failure in this city of angels lost. The soul of this team is not just in its high-profile trades or flashy draft picks. It's in the intangible, the brotherhood in the locker room, the creaking spirit of aging stars, the hunger in the soul of youth still learning how to fight. Every game played isn't just a game. It's a declaration of who we are and who we're willing to become. When we think back to Showtime in the 80s, that intoxicating blend of flash and fearlessness, or the early 2000s three-peat that epitomized resilience and brilliance, or the 2010 revenge tour that silenced doubters, or the miraculous 2020 bubble championship forged in isolation and resolve, we see a blueprint of rebirth and roaring triumphs. But those great chapters came at just the right times, when everything aligned, when belief was absolute and chaos manageable. Now, the chaos feels raw, personal, primal. The purple and gold are frayed at the edges, fighting to stitch together a story that can rise again from ashes and doubt. But what if the stitching unravels? What if the darkest chapters of post-title decline become the new narrative? It's a terrifying thought for any Lakers fan, because this franchise has always been larger than basketball. It's family, history, pride, identity. It's the oxygen this city breathes. This is why the pressure is suffocating. And on the court, the coaching carousel spins with a recklessness born of desperation. The script is rewritten constantly. Rotations shift like tectonic plates. Veterans and youngsters clash in a tempest of minutes and expectations. The coach becomes both conductor and casualty, feeling the brunt of every second guess and every fleeting moment of triumph or collapse. The emotional pendulum swings wildly between hope and despair, victory and self-doubt. What if the coaching gambles fail to find their footing in time? What if the leadership on the bench cannot harness the roar of the Staples crowd or the simmering fury of stars aching for a breakthrough? This ripple effect spreads far beyond the locker room, into the downtown bars where fans shout and drink and dream, into the quiet corners of living rooms where hearts break quietly. The Lakers are not just a team. They are a city's pulse. Every pass, every shot, every trade rumor spins stories that shape lives. This season's winning percentage may appear as a mere statistic, but it's a heartbeat sometimes strong, sometimes sputtering. This number carries the weight of hopes deferred, of futures uncertain. One possession can be the difference between a championship parade and a season spent scrabbling in the shadows of mediocrity. And mediocrity for this franchise? It's a word sounding like a curse. It echoes louder because every fan knows that glory is not just desired, it's demanded, built into the DNA since 1947. So now we sit on this knife edge, wrapped up in an epic of survival and potential rebirth. The roster is a puzzle with pieces that don't quite fit, the front office a battlefield of conflicting visions, and the legacy of legends casting long, unforgiving shadows. But what if this tension is the crucible we need? What if the heartbreak, the humbling, is simply the prelude to a phoenix moment the likes of which this franchise has never seen? What if LeBron, against all odds and time, defies the gods of age one last time and leads a motley squad of warriors through a gauntlet that makes every previous Lakers revolution look like a warm-up? What if the next dynasty is forged in these very flames of chaos, tempered by lessons learned from the ghosts of the Magic Johnson Showtime era, the Kobe Shaq domination, and the quiet strength of the 2020 bubble team? Now imagine if the front office can hold the line, resist the siren call of panic trades that destroy chemistry, and instead build a core that not only competes now, but secures the Lakers' future through Bronny's inevitable arrival and the rise of players like Reeves. But what if the cracks deepen instead? What if the rumors of front office infighting burst into open war, splintering the very trust the team needs to pull together in clutch moments? What if Jeannie Buss, faced with impossible choices, makes a decision that splits the fan base and fractures the very soul of this historic franchise? Or what if that billionaire stepping into the Lakers' orbit is a wild card who either saves the day or drives the whole ship onto the rocks? The Western Conference waits for no one. No team can afford to hesitate. The Warriors sharpen their claws with Steph Curry's merciless twilight brilliance. Denver deepens their arsenal of young beasts. Phoenix blazes with a star-eyed hunger. And the Clippers lurk like dark shadows, ready to pounce on every misstep. The Lakers cannot afford to be the walking wounded anymore. They must strike like the fierce underdog with nothing to lose or perish trying. The stakes couldn't be higher, the pressure never more palpable. What began as a hopeful rebuild has spiraled into a war for legacy, survival, and the soul of this franchise that has meant so much to so many. So here we are, standing at the crossroads, breath held tight, eyes wide with a mix of dread and stubborn hope. We are the inheritors of a dream carved out by legends, a dream that feels both within reach and just beyond it. This season's story is being written in real time with every second guess, with every injury, with every whisper from the front office hallways. No one, not the players, not the coaches, not the executives, can predict how this storm will break. It's raw, it's real, and it's brutal. As a Laker till the day I die, here's what I see coming. A moment so tension-fraught it could shatter the franchise or birth a new legacy. A tipping point soaked in sweat, sacrifice, and unstoppable will.